Hello, Don in London, and it's May 1st, 2009, month number 5. My video's all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My substance was alcoholic. My behaviour, whatever I thought you wanted me to be, often trying to be perfect, never so. Workaholic, relationshipaholic, gymaholic, you name it, any old holic you can find in the dictionary and more. It was all about behaviour and a feeling of less than, feelings of fear, driven by 1,000 forms of fear over the years, and finally coming to rest in a place of acceptance of me as I am today. And it's taken me a long time to realise that I learn who I am just on an incremental basis every single day, in every hour, or however long it takes. We find something new about ourselves, and that's the gift for me in being a recovering alcoholic. So for many years, 35, drinker, don't know when I'd crossed the line, probably after abject misery, when I suppose at the beginning of the millennium, maybe. I don't know, doesn't matter now. What's important to me is to stay in recovery and make each day work as best it can with what I have. And I guess that's my acceptance of me as a human being, just making gentle progress. And how did I get out of my addiction? Well, it was medical support, family support, community support, and the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. So I share a lot about what AA does for me daily. I don't speak for the fellowship. It's full of unique, authentic people who can speak for themselves. So don't be misled. Everybody stays unique and authentic in fellowship, but we have one similarity which binds us together with unity, service and recovery, and that is to be sober. So at every meeting I go to, and I'm very fortunate because there are over 600 meetings in London a week, plenty of choice to find a place where I can hear truth, wisdom, and get some experience of what other people do. So at every meeting we share a preamble, and it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any organisation, sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And for me, that last sentence where it says our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety, that's really why I do these videos a lot of the time, and it's also part of my meditation to make sure I'm on track a day at a time. So a few minutes of self-reflection, but not self-obsession or obsessive behaviour run riot, is probably good for me just to keep on track in the day, in the moment of now. And the AA program is 12 steps, and so there are 12 months in the year. These are the 12 steps on this little card, and the 12 traditions. And step 5 for May. I'm doing these monthly, or attempting to share some information about what each steps mean. Step 5 says here, and it's got that God word in, it says, admitted to God, to ourselves and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. And you know what? Over the last few years I was tormented by that word God, until I understood it a little bit better, that the God of my understanding doesn't need to be your understanding, that there are probably 6.5 billion people on this planet, all with an understanding of a God, from a point of view of agnostic, atheist or firm believer. And even if we're firm believers, it could be that our understanding is quite different. So it's the God of your understanding, a higher power which you may appeal to or exhort to in prayer and meditation. I don't know, on any particular day I can be an agnostic, an atheist or a believer, and that can be down to my experience and circumstances. Whether I step in front of a bus, it could be rather unfortunate, and I might not believe right in that second, but the next second I might know there's something quite different going on. So who and what do we know? I guess we trust to experience that we learn, the wisdom we learn over the years. And you know, my wisdom these days is not befuddled by a large amount of alcohol being consumed because I can't stand reality, or I was in denial about something, or I just didn't understand what was going on, and I didn't get my way, and I felt frustrated. So all those reasons, step 5 is really important, and it follows step 4, which I've talked about in April, the fearless moral inventory of our good side and our dark side, if you like, or the vices and virtues. A good self-appraisal followed by an expression to another human being about what it is, and sharing it, I guess, with the universal truth of good conscience or God. So step 5 is not that daunting, really, but all these steps are very separate, and they do follow a logical order to get to a point of understanding how to be sober one day at a time. And the books I use, Daily Reflections, an AA literature book, and As Bill Sees It, one of the co-founders. And I like the readings because it brings me back into the moment. So May the 1st in this one, and it starts off all about step 5. Healing heart and mind. Admitted to God, your understanding, to ourselves and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Since it is true that God comes to me through people, I can see that by keeping people at a distance. I can see that by keeping people at a distance, I also keep God at a distance. God is nearer to me than I think, and I can experience Him by loving people and allowing people to love me. But I can neither love nor be loved if I allow my secrets to get in the way. It's the side of myself that I refuse to look at that rules me. I must be willing to look at the dark side in order to heal my mind and heart, because that is the road to freedom. I must walk into darkness to find the light, and walk into fear to find peace. By revealing my secrets and thereby ridding myself of guilt, I can actually change my thinking. By altering my thinking, I can change myself. My thoughts create my future. What I will be tomorrow is determined by what I think today. And I often put, instead of think, I put feel, because I actually believe that we feel things first. Our feelings don't lie to us, and then we procrastinate around, do we like these feelings or do we not like these feelings? Is somebody getting on my nerves, or is somebody actually making me feel loved? And the whole thing about step 5 is understanding how it is to be loved and to love and have something useful to do on a daily basis. And every form of endeavour has its place and has a purpose in people's lives. I'm very conscious of time today. But the whole thing about sharing how we are, how am I feeling on a daily basis, why, what can I do, is being assertive with me. How am I feeling today? Less blocked up, my cold is getting better. I feel calm and at peace. Why? Because I'm dealing with things on a daily basis rather than letting them pile up and worry. Worry will kill me and send me back into oblivion and self-obsession. So, as Bill sees it for today, Bill Wilson was one of the co-founders, and it's all about progress and not perfection, so please bear that in mind. No one is perfect, and when we're doing our assertive bit, how am I feeling, why, what can I do, we might be setting higher standards for ourselves, and we set expectations that others will have the same standards. They won't unless we ask them, and often they don't have the same standards of behaviour. Yes. Anyway, page 91, Courage and Prudence. When fear persisted, we knew it for what it was, and we became able to handle it. We began to see each adversity as a God-given opportunity to develop the kind of courage which is born of humility, rather than of bravado. Prudence is a workable middle ground, a channel of clear sailing between the obstacles of fear on the one side, and of recklessness on the other. Prudence in practice creates a definite climate, the only climate in which harmony, effectiveness, and consistent spiritual progress can be achieved. Prudence is a rational concern without worry. It could take me all day to work that one out. But for me, where do we find peace? We can find peace in the moment once we understand where we are with ourselves. And we're not here to control anybody. We're just here to inform our choices based on what we feel, understand, and know about our own condition. So the spiritual experience really is in the moment and now, with less denials and less filters. And I'm very lucky, really, to have learned this serenity prayer. And the serenity can be exhorted to God, good conscience, whatever it is that you value and place in a place. You don't put yourself as God, basically. And it goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference just in one day.